So the DCFS Child Welfare Centralized Intake, we had a matter for legislative consideration to consider amending state law to require all mandated reporters to complete DCFS's mandatory reporter training annually and to require monitoring of this annual training by the oversight/licensing entities of the various mandatory reports. And the last, second to last.
How about, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
A question from Senator Mizell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, on that, because I just reread that for a particular reason, and there was a lot of recommendations, but you're only saying what is uniquely only a solution that could be from the legislature. There was a
Right.
lot of things that needed
Yes.
to be redone, but those were in-house agency adjustments, right?
Yeah, we had a lot of recommendations to the agency, like 135 of them. So there were a lot of recommendations for this report.
But I would love to know where legislative oversight needs to fall into play on the gap between what they're doing and what the report recommended they do. I mean, we may not be able to change a statute to do the actual process within the agency,
Okay.
but we desperately need to know that the agency's taken it upon themselves to do it. And other than what this chairman here did with DCFS, I mean, we wouldn't know a lot about where adjustments have been made and have yet to be made. So I think that would be really, personally, I would love to know, okay, you know this was a problem. Have you addressed A, B, C, or is it still out there?
So we have a follow-up process, and we're in the we're in progress of issuing our next one. So we typically give an agency 2 years to fully implement our recommendations, and then we go back in there to see if they have actually been implemented. But I can talk to the team and see if maybe because of this issue that maybe it warrants a sooner review. We have done that before. Just to kind of see where they are implementing, knowing that they may not have fully, but it might give some comfort to where they are in that process and if they're
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
addressing the recommendations.
Yeah,
So I think that's a good idea.
Thank you, thank you.
But I'm curious, Senator Mizell, what is it that you think that we can't change in legislation?
Well, I mean, it's things where they were taking 7 minutes to answer a call.
I see what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah, so there was
got
things
you.
within the
see.
procedure that was being tolerated by the agency that really, unless we're sitting there when they're doing it, we wouldn't, yeah.
All right, thank you.
And our recommendations are typically more policy recommendations in nature to the agency, like to change their processes to be able to fully implement the law, essentially, so.
All right, question by Representative Ivey.
Yep, thank you. Kind of follow up with Senator Mizell's points. One thing I think is that we definitely, as a legislature, my 11 years have not done is when the agencies fail to address the, identified shortfalls or issues that are really the duty and responsibility is on them. And of course, some things aren't, it's not like we need to change a revised statute to address it. But what we can do, and we rarely have done ever, if ever, is revise the administrative code. The legislature, through a resolution, can revise the administrative code. And so where we're getting into the nitty-gritty, that is a way that the legislature can actually address these things. We can have additional reporting requirements, the reporting requirements on the time and delays and all these things. And again, so I think even that technically it is legislation, but it's not what we would normally think of. So going forward, any recommendation y'all have, y'all could keep that in mind, that maybe the legislature needs to revise the administrative code instead of the statutes. Thanks.